Rain lashed against the armored windows of the presidential convoy as it sped through the chaotic streets of Bashiya. Inside, President al-Hassan stared at the grainy drone footage on his tablet. The image was horrifying. Masked insurgents overrunning a military outpost, their flag now waving defiantly over the burning wreckage. A notification flashed on his screen, an encrypted call from President Thorn of the Republic of Viridia. Al-Hassan's hand trembled as he accepted. He knew what was coming. This single phone call could either save his country or sign away its sovereignty. This is the moment where the fate of millions is decided, not in parliaments or on battlefields, but in the silent, tense conversations between the powerful and the desperate. If you're ready for stories that pull back the curtain on how our world really works, hit that subscribe button now. You won't want to miss what happens next. In the pristine, sunlit capital of Viridia, President Thorn ended the call with a heavy sigh. He turned to his national security advisor, General Ava Rostova. "He's agreed to our terms," Thorn said, his voice laced with the weariness of a man who carries the world on his shoulders. "Full intelligence sharing, drone strike authorization, and special forces on the ground. We move in at 0400, Rostova nodded grimly. "It's the only way to contain the threat before it spills over the border." For Viridia, it was a calculated move to protect its regional interests. For Bashiya, it was a bitter pill of submission. Meanwhile, in the developing nation of Kesh, President Anya Sharma faced a different kind of crisis. A catastrophic dam collapse had displaced 500,000 people, and her nation's emergency services were overwhelmed. Her pleas for international aid had been met with bureaucratic delays and lukewarm promises. Her finance minister delivered the grim news: the international consortium will provide the loan, but only if we grant them exclusive mining rights in the northern province. Sharma slammed her fist on the desk. It was extortion, plain and simple. She had to choose between economic ruin or selling off a piece of her country's future. Her power was an illusion, her authority a cage built by richer nations. This stark contrast defines our modern world. While leaders like Thorn deploy global assets with a single command, leaders like Al-Hassan and Sharma are trapped, forced to navigate a minefield of ultimatums and impossible choices. Their nations, rich in culture and history, are mere pawns on a chessboard controlled by giants. Back in Bashiya, the night was thick with tension. The Viridian Special Forces, ghosts in the darkness, moved with silent precision toward the insurgent stronghold. President Al-Hassan watched the operation unfold from his command center, a guest in his own country's war. The feed was a mix of Viridian drone views and his own military's patchy intelligence. He saw the insurgents' communications hub, a key target, but also saw his own soldiers, pinned down and desperate for support that only the Viridians could provide. Suddenly, a new crisis erupted. An aide rushed in, his face pale. "Mr. President, General Oba, your Chief of Defense, has just issued a statement. He's declaring a state of emergency and assuming control of the government to stabilize the nation. Betrayal, a coup orchestrated in the shadow of foreign intervention." Al-Hassan realized the chilling truth. The insurgents were just the pretext. His own general, likely with quiet encouragement from a rival regional power, had used the chaos to seize control. The Viridian intervention, meant to save him, had become the catalyst for his downfall. In a secret summit held in a neutral territory, President Thorn of Viridia met with President Lai of the Eastern Federation. No aides, no translators, just two of the most powerful men in the world. On the table was the Bashan crisis. "Your client, General Oba, has overplayed his hand," Thorne stated, his tone calm but unyielding. "His coup is destabilizing the entire region." President Lee smiled faintly. "Oba is a patriot. Al-Hassan was weak, beholden to your interests." Thorne leaned forward. "Let's be clear. We will not tolerate a rogue state on the border of our ally. We have the intelligence, the assets, and the will to remove him. Rein him in, or we will." The air crackled with unspoken threats. This was the real negotiation, a game of geopolitical chess, where nations like Basha were nothing more than squares on the board. The ultimatum was delivered. Within hours, General Oba appeared on Bashan state television, announcing he was handing power back to a transitional civilian government to oversee new elections. The coup had failed, not because of Al-Hassan's strength, but because two giants had decided it was inconvenient. Al-Hassan was quietly flown into exile, a tragic figure who tried to save his nation, but lost it to forces far beyond his control. In Kesh, President Sharma made her agonizing choice. With cameras flashing, she signed the agreement, handing over the mining rights. The loan would save her people from the immediate disaster, but the cost was a wound to her nation's soul. As she walked away from the podium, she caught her reflection in the glass. She saw not a president, but a manager of decline, her authority constrained, her legacy one of survival at the cost of sovereignty. The world keeps spinning. In Viridia, President Thorne is praised for his decisive leadership in neutralizing a terrorist threat and averting a regional war. In the Eastern Federation, President Lee is lauded for his masterful diplomacy in stabilizing a volatile situation. The news cycles move on, the headlines change. The names of Al-Hassan and Sharma fade from memory, their struggles reduced to footnotes in the grand narrative of global politics. But the truth remains. The world is not a council of equals. It is a hierarchy where the decisions of a few, made in quiet rooms thousands of miles away, dictate the fate of millions. It's a world where sovereignty is conditional and survival often comes at the price of pride. The giants decide, and the rest of the world learns to live with the consequences. Stories like this aren't just fiction. They reflect the hidden realities that shape our lives. If you believe in the power of storytelling to uncover the truth and challenge the status quo, then join our community. Subscribe, like this video, and share it with others who dare to look beyond the headlines. Help us continue to tell the bold, eye-opening stories about power, politics, and the forces that truly run the world. Thanks for watching.